The December 10th, 2020 meeting of the Social Circle Board of Education is called to order. First item on our agenda is prayer. Those who would like, please stand for the Lord's Prayer and pray together. Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, power, and the glory forever. Amen. Thank you. Please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. However, we do. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Next on our agenda is approval of the agenda. Dr. Hooker, do you have any adjustments or additions?
No adjustments.
Do I have a motion to accept the agenda as presented? Do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, please say aye. Motion carries unanimously. Next, we have the minutes from our last board meeting. We've had a chance to look at those. Have a motion to accept those minutes as presented. Do I have a second?
I second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, please say aye. Motion carries unanimously. Next, we have our board comments section. I have a few comments tonight. First, Lee, thank you for coming. Really appreciate you being here. And you're always welcome. We love a nice crowd, and it's a nice crowd, and we really appreciate you being here. One of the things that we need to make room for, though, in our trophy case is a new trophy. The wrestling program and the softball program need to move over because the school board's coming, okay? In recent board meetings, we had our 5-year strategic plan presented. It was a wonderful process we went through and involved the entire community. And recently, after that was completed and was presented, and we said on our website, the Georgia School Boards Association reached out to us and awarded our governance team the Leading Edge Award for school boards. And it was for the process and for the strategic plan that we came up with. But we accept this honor on behalf of our entire community because our strategic plan involved the entire community. It involved leaders, administrators, board members, staff, students. It involved people in our community from all walks of life. And so it's a community award, and I just wanted to let you know that we have a Leading Edge Award for 2020 presented to us from the Georgia School Boards Association. So the next thing I want to recognize, and speaking of community involvement, and we have great support at Social Circle, and we went to the state playoffs the first time in 11 years for football. And our game was in Montezuma, of all places. First time I'd ever been to Montezuma. But we had a great crowd. And I want to thank the community for really supporting the team and the crowd that showed up. And as I was sitting there, two things happened that were really kind of special to me. One was a gentleman who I've known a long time. Many of you probably know. His name is Paul Posner. He's a little older than me. Didn't get around like he used to. But he still buys red seats at the football stadium and comes and supports us any way he can. He couldn't make it to Montezuma, but he sure could text me and ask me for updates. And so he really cared. He didn't have any children or grandchildren in the school system whatsoever. And while I was sitting there, looking at Paul's text back and forth, a lady came up to me who has a son playing on his team and said, I want to point out someone to you. It's Mr. Ernest Spears. He's over there talking to Mr. Armstrong, our high school principal. I said, I don't know Mr. Spears. She said, you wouldn't. He doesn't have a child or a grandchild here, but he supports us, and he drove all the way down here to show us support. So I just wanted to thank the community for the support they always show our school system. And I want to especially recognize those two gentlemen. That was kind of special, I thought. Another thing that I want to point out is that, we're going to partner again with the city on the January 5th runoff election for the Senate races in Georgia. You can vote in the general election right here, and again on January 5th, you can vote right here again. So we're proud to partner with the city to provide a place where people can social distance and vote safely. So please vote. The next thing is the city is having a Christmas event on December 18th. It's downtown from 6 to 8 p.m. Just want to make you aware of that. And those are my comments for tonight. And the last one being that I have a daughter in 12th grade, and she's part of a special program in our school. And what we like to do as a board is we like to have many of our different pathways that we offer our students presented to the board and to the public that oftentimes aren't recognized. They're important. I know this one's very important to my daughter. She's part of our pathway that I'd like to ask Mrs. Garrett to come up here and present to the board and to the attendees here.
Is that good? Okay. I'm going to rotate a little bit because I don't have eyes on the side of my head. Is that going to be okay with y'all? All right. So first of all, thank you so much for asking us to join in tonight. I am here along with 4 of my students who you will meet at the end of my presentation. I'm here tonight to talk to you about the Social Circle High School Preschool Program. The goals for tonight are, I'd like to share the reason for our program. I'd like to explain the weekly routine of the high school students who are in the program. I'd like to show that we are growing Social Circle City Schools teachers. I'd like to share with you their job descriptions. I'd like to convey the complexity, the longevity, and the continuous community support that we have for this program. I'd like to explain the preschoolers' daily routine. And I'd also like to share the high school students' perspective. I should say they will like to share their perspective. So you've all heard this, which came first, the chicken or the egg? That really doesn't have much to do with my presentation, except to say sometimes people want to know, is this program because someone decided they wanted to have a preschool program, or is it because you wanted to teach children, high school children, to become teachers? And so really the first thing that happened is somebody said, let's create a program in the high school so that our high school students can fall in love with teaching, hopefully, and possibly want to pursue that as a career. As far as the longevity of the program, some of you may know even beyond the 35 years, but this program has been in Social Circle for at least 35 years. I know the teachers, and I probably shouldn't say that, but I know the teachers that were here about 37 years ago. A good friend of mine taught here, and I was just always so jealous of her talking about what all she got to do here. So this was on my radar a long time ago. The community support is tremendous. We always have a waiting list for our preschool program. Even this year, we have 13 children enrolled. Usually we take 12 or 13. And I still have a list of folks who would like to come even at midway through the year. I usually have weekly calls or emails from folks who are interested in the program. So just to tell you, what I'm talking about is the early childhood education pathway that's in the high school. And there are 3 classes. There's the intro course, and then ECE 2 and 3, and those are the courses where the high school students teach preschool. The way it's set up is that we have 2 high school classes. So here's one group. They come to me first in the morning, and they meet for an hour and a half each day. And then here is the second group. Mr. Callahan, you can see Molly there on the right. And they come but this class also comes for an hour and a half. So so they receive 2 credits for this class. I'd like to share with you how our week goes. So on Mondays, we start with a faculty meeting. And I'm the leader to start with. We talk about what went well that week, the week before, maybe things that we could improve on. And then we start talking about the theme for the week. We divide our year into 23 weeks, 23 different themes. And so, for example, last week the theme was pets. And everything we discussed during that faculty meeting from this point on is about how could we make this great for the preschoolers. And I like to compare it to this ride. You may have ridden on this before, the teacups at Walt Disney World. That whole apparatus spins around, and then within that, you have those teacups that you're trying to spin too. So we're very much a moving system, lots of moving parts. We have lots of students doing lots of different jobs, and then within their own job description, they have a list that's very long. This shows you that we do plan way ahead of time. We plan the whole year up front. Each student has a job, and they usually have that job for about 2 weeks during the year. They might have it once in the fall and then repeat that job again in the spring. All of these pieces of paper represent the different jobs that exist. So at first glance, you might think there aren't that many jobs, but there really are, and I would like to tell you a little bit about those. But before I do, this is another part of our faculty meeting. We brainstorm. The director at this point, which is a high school student, takes over, and she goes to the board and writes down, everybody's just kind of just saying ideas. The first thing is, what do we know? For example, last week, what do we know about pets? Well, we might list all the different kinds of pets you could have. Sometimes that list gets interesting. And then we might list things that you have to do for a pet. Then we try to brainstorm about activities we could do for pets. So for example, we could make collars for our pets. We could take them on a walk during preschool as an activity. And then we adjourn from the faculty meeting and everyone starts finding their ideas. So they come to me for approval, and then sometimes it's a race to write it down on the board, because once you write it on the board, it's set in stone, and you don't want someone else to take your idea. They do a lesson plan. So in this lesson plan, they're writing down what the little children would learn physically, cognitively, emotionally, and socially. They also copy the rough draft onto this document. This is our theme development map, so that everybody in both classes knows what everybody else is doing. And it gives them ideas for the future. So here's our director in action, and what she's doing is deciding, well, she's announcing at this point on Wednesday which children are in which group. That's one of her many jobs that she does. She's also responsible for managing this chart. We are divided into different centers, and those centers, the children rotate through the centers. They're in there 8 minutes each, and so the director is the one who, it's almost kind of funny, we have this old maraca that's duct taped, but we like it because it's loud. And every time you hear the director shake the maraca, you know it's time to rotate the children. But the director is the one that manages all of that. She also checks the playground at the beginning of the week, because we certainly don't want any ant beds or any sharp parts or any trash. So we try to maintain our playground, and maintenance definitely helps us with that tremendously. So then we have different jobs. As I said, you have your art teacher, and here Hannah is helping this child string beads, and they're making pet collars. And then we have our drama teacher, and we have actually 2 drama teachers, and what they do is they just sit beside the children and play along with them as they act out the real adult world. So this is where you have your stoves, your refrigerators, your trucks and cars. There's a loft also upstairs where they can read to the children. That drama teacher does the bulletin board on Monday and Tuesday. And again, this was Pets Week. The little children had a pet to be responsible for, not a live one, but a stuffed animal, and their pet is shown on the bulletin board. So for example, Lucy was the pink poodle. She carried the pink poodle around. And then the drama teacher also, in the other class, does the letter board. And the director uses this as a teaching tool. So here they would be teaching, of course, the E, what it sounds like, and what words start with it. And we get the kids to say that with us. And then we have our reading teacher who reads every day a book and then creates an activity to go with that book. In writing, lots of things going in writing, but basically one day they do a letter, which is the letter of the week, and decorate it. So this one is C for caterpillar. And then they also do activities to strengthen fine motor skills. And of course, we help them learn to write in all kinds of creative ways. We have a computer center. This is very challenging. Little children are developing their fine motor skills, and so one-on-one is really a great way to do this because they need a lot of help with that mouse. And here, they are, I can't remember what the theme was here, but they are dressing, they like to do a lot of dress up and drag the clothes onto what they're dressing up. This is a math center. At first glance, you might think, oh, math? Well, math readiness is what we're all about. And so in this activity, yes, they're fishing because it's fun, but then they're going to sort those fish by colors. Our science teacher here, the theme was colors. And so she took this outside and they did some tie-dye, learned how to mix colors, and then they got to take tie-dye socks home. We also have a photo job, and that person takes pictures of the kids all week long. We use a camera to do that and put those on a flash drive, and then the next Monday and Tuesday, the photo person makes a newsletter that we send home to the parents. And we also make a yearbook page, which is shown here, and a take-home chart that I'll show you in a minute. I just wanted to point out with this yearbook page, as well as the newsletter, we're really enforcing the language arts standards here. Even though you see a few sentences, you of course have to make sure those are grammatically correct, the spelling's correct, your case usage is correct. So the students feel very responsible to get this accurate because they know a lot of parents are looking at this. There's the take-home chart, and that's so the parents can see what we're doing, and they also get a copy of the menu for the week, which is on there. So one for one class and one for the other. And then here's our nutrition teacher, and usually this is 2 people, sometimes 1, but she has a big responsibility and lots of paperwork. So she has to plan the menu, it has to be nutritionally sound. She has like 3 different checklists, things like, have you sanitized the counters? Have you sanitized the chairs? Have you checked for expired food? So it's a huge responsibility. And then we have housekeeping. And I always really, really appreciate my housekeepers. They're doing things that you would think of, like sweeping, dusting, but they're also checking our copy machines to keep us running there, change the ink in those, keep them full of paper. They have quite an extensive list of jobs. And there's one of their lists. They actually have 2. And then we also have a floater, and especially this year this has been helpful because sometimes students are absent, and so we use our floater as a substitute. And now what I'd like to do is just briefly go through the routine of our day. So our children arrive on Wednesday. They come Wednesday morning, 9:45 to 12:45. And we actually, each student goes out to a car and gets a child, greets the parents and the child, which is a really good task for improving your communication skills. And then we, of course, come in the building. The children mark their attendance, and then Josie down there is with the thermometer. Her job is every day this year she checks their temperatures as they come in. And then we have free play for about 20 minutes. So the children choose what they want to do, which we know helps make them smart and creative. And the high school students play along with them. I'm probably the only class in the building that says, I need preschool teachers over here playing. And then we have large group, so this is a beanbag song that we all love. You can't leave here without singing this song all day. But usually it's a movement or music or game activity. So large group could also be maybe a guest speaker. Guest speaker meaning I got something to show you. So this was the police cars for Community Helpers Week. And they were so kind to bring several cars so that we could space out. And I believe this little guy, after that day, would like to be a police officer very much. He loved the car. So then large group, here we're doing a parade. And I don't know what the song was for that day, but it always relates to the theme. So today, it was the 12 Days of Christmas. They did a parade in large group and marched. And sometimes they shake instruments. In science, the theme was all about me. That's a group that they go to. And so they're learning about the eye and decorating it. I'm kind of glad my eye doesn't have those pom-pom balls in it, though. Then there's computer again. And this, again, was a dress-up activity. It was an all-about-me theme. And then in reading, they're putting the scenes from Brown Bear in order according to the book. And then in drama, this is one of my favorites. One teacher stands on the loft and showers the children with leaves. And then the children rake them and put them in a bucket. And then they want to do it all over again. So that's the fall fun, part of the fall fun theme. In art, here they're making corn for Thanksgiving. And then in writing, this was the letter of the week, and they made that eye into an inchworm. In math, again, it's math readiness, so they're sorting pictures that relate to the seasons. And then the second class comes in, and we do all that again. So we have large group again. This picture is my most recent picture. It was from yesterday, and I was like, hold on, y'all, I gotta get this, because Molly plays her ukulele, and I have not heard her play till this week, and she's really, really good. And you know, sometimes people can play, but it's hard when people start singing with them. She was able to keep up, and we sang. We made a joyful noise and did Christmas carols, and the kids danced around and really, really, really enjoyed that. So now I'm looking for other high school students who play instruments. So then we go through the whole small group rotation in the second class, and then it's time to go home. So each high school student has a designated child that they're responsible for. And so in that, just that one little thing, you know, they have to make sure they know how to operate the car seat, again, communicate with the parents, more than just, you know, hey, that we try to learn conversation skills and report about the child's day. So a few benefits from the program that you might have already picked up on. I think this program really helps them become prepared. I know it does. Become prepared for a career in early childhood education or a major in early childhood education. A lot of times they're more easily accepted into a program because you do have to apply to an early childhood education program. They can also earn a credential from NOCTI, which is the test that we use. And if they do pass that test, many colleges reward a college credit for that. They're a lot more likely to be hired in an early childhood education setting with this program under their belt. And then, again, Social Circle's growing its own teachers. And I'd just like to share with you some information I have about some of those folks. So I know that these folks went through this program in Social Circle, and my audience might even chime in or you all might know of others. But I know Miss Darlene Favors and Coach Brooke Adams and Miss Amber Mann and Miss Kimberly Russell went through this program, and they're all employed by the Social Circle system. And then Miss Lumpkin, who teaches here, I taught her ECE, but it was in another system. But she's here, and then along with her, my daughter went through my program in another system, and she really, really wanted to work here, but nobody left that year. And that speaks very loudly for Social Circle City Schools. And then currently, I have 10 students from this pathway who went to Social Circle, came through this pathway, who are majoring in early childhood education. I keep a list on my phone, and I'm friends with them on Facebook so that I can keep up with what's going on, and they're all doing really well. Two of those 10, have mothers who teach in social circle. So I'm thinking hopefully they might stay around and want to teach in social circles. That the last time I talked with them, that was their thought. Another interesting fact is this Miss Julie Mayfield, who teaches in our system, has 4 daughters. They've all 4 been through this pathway. 3 of them while I've been here. And the youngest, Kara, is in my program now. And then her 2 oldest daughters are teaching in an elementary school. And then the second youngest is currently majoring in early childhood. So that's part of my benefits of the program. I think that the people who go through this pathway really gain a better understanding of kids. Of course, we're never going to have them all figured out. We wish we could. But they gain a much better understanding. And then they can't come through my pathway without developing a work ethic. It is just like as close as you can get to the workplace. And they'll tell you a little bit about that. And then they are developing life skills, which I think they'll also tell you about. And so, I have 4 lovely students. Y'all want to start making your way? And this is Miss Cedriana Wilson, and Miss Reese Morrow, Miss Lexi Starnes, and Miss Savannah Sugary. And with Lexi, I taught her mom a few decades ago in another school system as well. So this is, I think she's my first to get to do that with. So that's kind of neat about Lexi.
Hello, my name is Cedriana Wilson, and I'm a junior in Social Circle High School. This is my 3rd year in ECE, and I would really like to share what I'm learning in this program. I've learned that you have to be really super, responsible for what you do in the class. And if you don't do your job, really well, then you're going to have consequences, a lot of them. And you have to make sure that the children are really safe around anywhere, always keep an eye on them. This program is also preparing me for the future because I really want to be a preschool teacher. Because I really love working with the kids, and they're really wonderful. I also love planning lessons and teaching the kids. And I think I might be doing something right because Miss Garrett loves giving me extra jobs in the classroom. Another one of my favorite ECE things in the classroom is that all the high schoolers get along. We all get along. It's a huge, big family in this classroom. We can go to anyone for help if we need to. I also love seeing all the children happy to come into the preschool classroom and learn new things. It's just really wonderful. And I am so thankful to have this program in high school. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Reese Mara, a sophomore at Social Circle High School. This is my 2nd year in ECE. There are lots of qualities I'm developing while in the ECE program. Some of these are patience, dependability, and a strong work ethic. It is helping me gain skills to teach others. I love helping the preschoolers gain new skills as they grow and develop. I've learned there is a lot of responsibility that goes into this program, and it is not easy. You have to keep up many jobs and definitely make sure you follow through with all your jobs. If you don't do your part, everyone suffers. My favorite part of being ECE is working with the kids. It is so rewarding to work hard on Mondays and Tuesdays planning and then see the kids love what you plan on Wednesday through Friday. One of my favorite jobs is director. I really like being in charge and motivating others. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lexi Starnes, and I'm a sophomore at Social Circle High School and a 2nd-year student in the ECE pathway. I have learned many things during the past 2 years in Ms. Garrett's early childhood education classes. Through this class, I have learned useful workplace skills. These skills include working with others, learning to improvise, and think off the top of my head in a pinch. Also, getting along with coworkers makes everything go smoother. I have also experienced a good feeling that comes from planning and then following through with my plan while teaching. At this time, I am not planning to major in education in college, however, I'm not ruling it out either. I really enjoy working with young children and guiding them through their day. It's Central Circle High School, and this is my second year at ECE. In my future, I have chosen to go to school for teaching young children, so the early childhood program is essential to me. This program teaches respect, patience, responsibility, and prepare me for what my future career could look like. I get the experience that could enhance my quality as a teacher in the future, and even though this program is extremely educational, that's nowhere near the best part of these classes. The connections that we get to make with these children that we teach are beautiful and help us grow and develop just as much as we help them. My designated child, Haley, picks me one flower every day before I put her in her car so that I can take it home and that my family can see it, and it brightens up their day. And we get to interact with every type of child and build a different relationship with each of them. I wouldn't trade teaching our wonderful children for anything because they teach me just as much as I teach them. So thank you for supporting this.
So thank you again, and I'd just like to know if you have any questions for me.
It's a wonderful program and pathway. It's a blessing, clearly, to the students. How many high schoolers participate in
In the program? So this year, I have about 85, 80 to 85. I was trying to remember my virtual students. And in the classes that teach the preschool, there are about 28 of those total. So about 14 in each class. And then you add the 12 or 13 preschoolers, so it makes a full class.
Great. Any other questions from any board members? Gary.
Thank you.
Thank you, students. Next on our agenda, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Hooker because we have some other special guests. He'll introduce those and then he'll give us an update on some about after that.
Thank you. At this time, I would like to introduce Mr. Gary Hobbs. He served as the superintendent of Walton County Schools for 8 years, and he has a few guests and a video information that he would like to share with us about.
Chairman Callahan, Dr. Hooker, distinguished members of the board, thank you so much for giving us a few minutes tonight to update you on what I think is one of the most important initiatives in Walton County in many, many years. I have some folks with me I do want to introduce. Mr. Ben Garrett, raise your hand, is with me. He's co-chairing the Campaign Leadership Council with me for the Y. Also, Mr. Lee Garrett is a campaign general co-chair along with Ms. Meredith Malcolm from Synovus Bank. Lee works at Liberty First Bank. And Mr. Sean George, who is our campaign director for First Community Development, which is our professional fundraising company that we are partnered with to raise the funds for this beautiful facility. If I can make this work. This is our campaign leadership team. I'll leave that up just for a second. You'll see Dr. Hooker's name there, and folks from all over the county. And this is expanding as we go along as more people are showing interest in that. Let me talk to you just a minute about the history, strategic plan, feasibility analysis for the Y. The vision for the YMCA in Walton County started in 2007, 2008 timeframe. There was a meeting of interested community leaders to look at this, look at the chances of doing this in Walton County and how much interest there was. A study was conducted on several sites. A site on Charlotte-Rowell Boulevard, which is the where three highways come together in Walton County: Highway 11, Highway 138, and Highway 78. Of course, in 2008 and 2009, all of us in the school systems know what happened to the economy. So things kind of got paused for a while. And in 2012, the Rowell family donated 15 acres of land there on Charlotte-Rowell Boulevard. This was the site that was selected, and they have since come on with 23 more acres of land. Now we have a 38-acre tract. for the YMCA, which is huge. You know, that's just something that's unheard of when you start a new facility like this, to have that big a tract of land. In 2018, a community needs assessment was done in Walton County, a survey, if you will. The interest was overwhelming. As you know, we got 100,000 folks in the county who don't have a swimming pool. Many kids need to learn to swim and don't have a place to learn to swim in Walton County. I know the Boys and Girls Clubs have a lot of students that attend there, and a lot of children that attend there would need to learn to swim. And YMCA of Georgia's Piedmont is the umbrella we will fall under. They have facilities in Winder and Hartwell. And one of the things they do every summer is bring the Boys and Girls Club kids over and teach them swimming lessons at no charge. And we'll do the same thing when we get our YMCA bill. The community needs assessment showed strong support. In 2019, we came to the conclusion if we were going to do this, we had to bring professional fundraisers in to do it. And so we engaged First Community Development, and that is the company that Sean works for that I just introduced to you. They led us through a strategic planning task force in 2019. We had 45 to 50 community leaders from all over the county involved in that. Dr. Hooper was involved as well. That strategic planning task force, and there's more information in your brochure about this, so I'm not going to talk a lot about what they came up with, other than say there were 5 priorities in this order that came from that strategic planning task force. The first was a safe venue and a community gathering place, a place people could go as families and feel safe. Second was health and wellness. Third was exercise and fitness. Fourth was education. And fifth was recreation and sports. And that was quite a process that they went through to develop this. Not that any of them were less important, but that was a priority that the strategic planning task force came up with at that time. After that, First Community Development, our professional fundraisers then conducted a feasibility analysis where they interviewed about 50 community leaders, CEOs of major corporations, and different folks in the community who had expressed an interest to financially support this. And they came back to us with the analysis done that we could raise $10 million in Walton County for this project. That goal has been increased to $15 million at this time. I'm happy to tell you today that we already have a pledge for the swimming pool, a $2 million pledge for the swimming pool. So the land is paid for and the swimming pool is paid for. And the swimming pool, of course, is the heart of any YMCA. The pool is high cost and high cost to maintain. And for that reason, many counties and city governments and boards of education across the nation are partnering with YMCA's for their high school swim teams to have meets and swim. This is the pool that we will have 8 lanes, meet certified. We will also have a therapy pool adjoining it for water aerobics for seniors and swimming lessons for kids and those kind of things. And we've been told by the YMCA folks and the CEO, Angie Putman of the YMCA of Piedmont, has been working closely with us, that high school swimmers like cooler water than older people who do water aerobics, and it's hard to change that pool temperature, so that's why we definitely want to do the therapy pool. It will be a beautiful facility. I know Social Circle High School has a big swim team, and your coach, in fact, has been to some of our meetings, and your booster club is involved as well. So I talked to your booster president the other day when I picked up my poinsettias that they were selling down here behind the school. So everybody is excited about this. I know that the folks in Social Circle are that we've talked to. These are some swimming pool concepts that we have, and we are working with architects already on these concepts. Full court indoor basketball court. We're hoping the county will partner with us on this to also use for recreation basketball in the evenings, and it can be used for many events during the day of the Y. We have had one donor that has said if we will do a covered soccer field and lacrosse facility, she will pay for it. It's $1.5 million. It would have astroturf, it would be covered, it would be great for summer activities as well. It would not be heated and cooled, it would be a a large covered facility for this field. Of course, the weight room and fitness center, group exercise rooms for aerobics, a spin room, which I'm not the least bit interested in. That stuff's hard. And of course, locker rooms, shower facilities, child care room. Many moms could come in the morning. They'll have certified child care folks to take care of their children, and they can exercise, do water aerobics, and those kind of things. And of course, teen programs. A lot of interest in a teaching kitchen to teach people to cook in a healthy way. It's all about health and fitness, and a lot of interest in that. And of course, offices for a branch director, and I'll just do this real quickly, essence of time. Outdoor amenities, playgrounds, lacrosse, soccer fields. We don't want to compete with any programs going on in Walton County. We want to complement those programs. We're not going to start a league at the YMCA that competes with the recreation league. We're not about that. That's not what the YMCA is about. Pickleball is big with the seniors now. We want to do pickleball, walking trail, and of course parking. And we'll have additional parking for swim meets. If you've ever been to a high school swim meet, there's a lot of people that come, especially if it's 2 or 3 schools participating. Economic impact on the county. 89 total part-time employees, great for kids in the summer for lifeguarding. And of course, lifeguarding will be taught, and then of course some full-time people. Here's our campaign organization chart. You'll see Dr. Hooker's name on the leadership division. He's a tri-chair with 2 other gentlemen in the county. Dr. Franklin from Walton County School is involved. Kirkland Dixon, who is one of our county commissioners, is involved. We have the right people involved in this. David Thompson is on our leadership team, the new chair of the county commission, who will be taking office January 1st as well. Here's a quick tentative campaign calendar. We're starting solicitations. Just started that, 2,300,000 already in pledges. And the way we're doing this is a 5-year pledge. We hope to break ground at the end of next year. What we will do is get our pledges and complete the campaign by the end of May. We will go to the board of directors of the Piedmont YMCA. They will underwrite a loan for the Y, and then it will be paid off over 5 to 6 years that the pledges come in. That's the way we're trying to work this. And we have a short video we'd like for you to see as well. We'll give you some additional information. Please take your brochure home. There's a lot of information in there as well. While he's queuing that up, congratulations on that award. I've been involved in a few of those, and the trophy's not real big, but the work it gets there is huge. So congratulations to you, board members and Dr. Hooker. I'm glad they're here. I'm challenged in this area.
As he's queuing up the video, I'll go ahead and make my comments. I do want to share with you, Social Circle is very excited about partnering with the YMCA. As he stated, our swim coach is a part of this committee. This will benefit our community a great deal, but also our high school. I think it's imperative that we build this partnership. I myself have been a part of the YMCA, and I can tell you it's a wonderful thing for families, the involvement. It brings the community together. As he stated earlier, Barrow County has a YMCA, and they have over 9,000 members. I envision this being a hand-in-glove partnership with Social Circle. We look forward to meeting further and discussing how we can support this process, but this is going to be good for our students, for our families, healthier families, a healthy Walton. And so we're excited about this partnership. And again, Mr. Hobbs, thank you for this presentation. Guys, thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you, Dr.
The name of the campaign is Building a Healthy Walton, and the tagline is, our purpose is deeper than a pool.
So we named our campaign because we do not have a pool here locally in Walton County, and there is a need for that.
However, it is bigger than that. It is about building and developing programs to build a healthier Walton.
This is the most important project we've taken on as a community in Walton County in probably 20 years, likely since the Boys and Girls Club was built in the early 2000s.
The initiative originally began in 07, 08. The Rowell family had donated some land, about 17 acres at that time, for the YMCA, and a group of interested community leaders got together. Some surveys were conducted to determine if, in fact, the Walton County community would support this. It was overwhelming that they would. In fact, no one said that they wouldn't. So now the Rowell family came on board and provided a good bit more land to the point of having 38 acres now for the footprint of the YMCA.
We've decided to give the land to the YMCA because I actually grew up in the YMCA over the years and feel that the impact that the Y brings to this community will be beneficial to its citizens as well as the health and wellness of our citizenry.
Our children learn to swim at the YMCA, and we want the children of this community to have that same opportunity.
Social Circle City Schools are so excited that the YMCA is coming to our area. This is going to benefit our athletic program where swimming is concerned, and our families will be excited to partake in the many activities that they have there. And this is just a great opportunity for the entire Walton County community.
As we looked at the opportunity to partner with the YMCA, we realized that synergies and the missions of both of these organizations were synonymous. Personally, I feel like the YMCA offers something for everybody. I think the children, seniors, families, and I think it provides opportunities not only for the recreational side of it. The main focus from the healthcare and the healthcare foundation is that of providing a great opportunity to improve one's health. And I think there are also opportunities to grow people emotionally and spiritually. It's a very holistic place for the family to be.
So Lee and I both raised 2 children here in Walton County, and while it was an amazing experience and a wonderful place to raise families, we want to be a part of making this a better community and a better place for our kids to raise their families and for our grandchildren.
The economic impact of the new YMCA in Walton County is the fact that it lifts all groups. Everybody in the community will be made the better because of the YMCA.
This YMCA is going to help businesses prosper by adding to the already great quality of life we have in Walton County. This is just going to be a complement to already what we experience in living and working in Walton County.
Our campaign goal is $15 million, and we are asking for it from family, friends, businesses, and foundations.
Our school district is excited about the possibility of partnering with the YMCA and becoming an investor, so to speak, in this new YMCA because our swim team is a facility inside Walton County. That's the biggest take for us. We're looking forward to possibly working out a long-term partnership with this new YMCA organization so that our swim team, well into the future, can have a place to practice and compete on a daily basis. I think the new YMCA will be a tremendous asset to Walton County. Families will enjoy going there together, having a safe place to recreate, for kids to learn to swim. We don't have that place now in Walton County. It's going to be a beautiful facility with a lot of amenities and a lot of programs that will complement what we already have in Walton County.
The YMCA will be located directly behind me across from Monroe Area High School.
The location is very convenient. It's in the crossroads of the county at 78, Highway 11, and 138. Easy for Loganville, Social Circle, and Monroe residents to get to.
The Walton County Y will work on these 5 strategies for a healthier lifestyle: a safe venue and community gathering place, health and wellness, exercise and fitness, education, and recreation and sports.
By acting now, you can change the trajectory of Walton County by making the Y a sustainable part for our future generations.
Our purpose
here
is deeper than a pool.
Any questions that I can answer for you? Dr. Hooker's got the answers after we leave if you need to. He's read into this, and Robbie, we really appreciate your participation in this. You're a vital part of this. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you again for being here for the presentation. and I'm honored to serve on the board with you guys. At this time, I want to give you an update on Zone 5. As you know, as of March the 12th of this year, we had our attorney come and present Zone 5 information with us. Before the pandemic came along, we were looking forward to having it completed by June, so we had to delay that. Dr. Franklin, who's the superintendent of Walton County Schools, he and I have met. Our board attorney has revised the contract for Zone 5. Just to give you a brief update of what those revisions are about. The contract is now for 5 years instead of the 10 to 12 years that it was before. Parents now have an opportunity, an option. Before, if you signed on with Zone 5, you had to remain there for your kindergarten year throughout high school. There were some opportunities to opt out. And at this time, we have it that if a parent would like to opt out, they can opt out either at the 5th or the 8th grade. We're looking forward to have this signed by January of 2021. The deadline for this contract is June of 2021. Dr. Franklin and I are excited about having it signed by January. He presented this to his board on Tuesday night, and they are all in favor of it. We have a few revisions to make, but I think this is a great opportunity for our community to partner together. And as many of you know, this agreement came about because of the school desegregation case of Graves versus the Walton County in 1971. The agreement was updated in 1996 and again in 2007, and it ends on June 2021. So again, thank you, and we look forward to continuing this intergovernment agreement with Walton County School Districts. And to give you just the numbers that we have, currently we have 488 students from Zone 5 are attending our school district, and we're glad to have them here. Do you have any questions?
Thank you, Dr. Hunter. We look forward to approving that as well. And, I know that will put a lot of families at ease that in Zone 5 that they can continue to come here should they so choose. Next on our agenda, we have a special recognition, and for that I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. At this time, we'll have Ms. Favors come to present the recipient for the primary school.
Good evening, everyone. It gives me great pleasure to recognize our star student this evening. Her name is Grace Ruby, and she's a second grade student at Social Circle Primary School. She is currently in Miss Cooper's classroom, and her name describes her well. She is beautiful inside and out. She is a gifted student, and she goes above and beyond expectations both academically and behaviorally. Grace has been a part of our school since pre-K, and each year her teachers have given her the recognition as most valuable player. All of her teachers, both former and present, pretty much echoed the same thing about Grace. They said that Grace is a friend to all and consistently displays great manners and behaviors in the classroom. She has empathy for others and is willing to help in any way that she can. Grace is a star at all times, and she welcomes any challenges. At this time, please help me in congratulating Grace for being our star student. Come forward, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Favors. Dr. Hargrove, if you would present your recipient.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. It is my pleasure this afternoon to recognize a special young man. When he comes up here, he's going to be smiling big, and you're going to be able to see in his eyes because he keeps his mask on all the time. He does really good masking up. But I have really enjoyed getting to know Zion as a student in the school because it's fun to talk to him because you never know if he's going to speak back or not. So the challenge is to talk to him every day because you're always going to get the smile, but you don't know if you're going to get any words. So the staff at the elementary school chose to recognize Zion for his academic improvements and his citizenship in the building. When I asked the teachers to give specifics, this is what they said. So I'm starting with a comment from Ms. Rakestraw. Zion is a very shy, quiet young man, but has a lovely smile. He is a member of the Student Success Alliance Leadership Committee. I know God has something very special for this young man's life. Congratulations, Zion. And the next one is from Ms. Strauss. Zion may be a very quiet student, but that doesn't mean he doesn't know the answer. He is always diligently on task, amazing, unique, and kind. Zion is loved by everyone. His smile is beautiful and encouraging. Congratulations, Zion. Love, Ms. Strauss. And then the last comment was from Ms. Madeline McDaniel. Zion was very shy at the very beginning of the year. It was hard getting him to say anything. However, I am happy to say that he has been slowly gaining that self-confidence in the classroom. Although he may not be the most talkative student in the class, I am excited about seeing glimpses of his personality. His growing self-confidence is always showing up in his academic work. He truly does display champ behavior at all times, and we are so glad to have him as our student. Let's give Zion a hand. Come on forward, Zion.
Thank you, Ms. Altamani.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. It is such a wonderful pleasure this evening to recognize this wonderful, beautiful student at the middle school, Ms. Sweet Kyla Pitts. Her teachers wrote some very encouraging, positive words about her, and I will read some of those. The middle school is proud to recognize Kyla Pitts as our Student of the Month. Kyla is being recognized due to her hard work in all of her classes. She has an 8 average in all classes. She is also recognized for her continuous positive attitude towards peers, teachers, and whatever task is being assigned. Kyla has such a big heart, selfless, caring, and hardworking are just a few ways to describe what a great student she is. She is a student who participates in class, encourages classmates, and is always eager to learn more. She exemplifies every power standard every day while exhibiting the highest level of leadership. Kyla is always willing to put in the extra time and effort to make sure her assignments are completed on time with 100% effort. When a task is assigned, Kyla is attentive to the instructions and works diligently to complete quality assignments that reflect her knowledge. Kyla represents the middle school well. She is a dedicated, energetic cheerleader and serves on the principal's student advisory. This is my favorite comment. Kyla's compassionate personality makes others feel appreciated and acknowledged. I'll say it again. Kyla's compassionate personality makes others feel appreciated and acknowledged. Responsible and respectful are two words that describe why Kyla is a great role model for other students and is being honored with this recognition. Please help me congratulate Ms. Kyla Pitts.
Thank you. At this time, we will have Ms. Miriam Lyles recognize our high school student.
Good evening. Social Circle High School would like to recognize Tyrell Branch as our Student of the Month. Tyrell's teachers have shared the following words about him. They describe him as dedicated, dependable, well-rounded, and resilient. He is a great friend to others, and he is really fun. It has been an honor to watch him grow as both an amazing athlete and an incredible young man. He demonstrates maturity as he successfully navigates his academics as a remote learner, but his teachers want him to know that they really miss being around him and they miss his precious smile. He is a fierce competitor and a maturing leader for our boys basketball team. Last season, he was elected as an all-region basketball player. This year, he was accepted to the preseason All-State team. He is a selfless teammate who works tirelessly to help the team succeed. His teachers are grateful for the opportunity to know, coach, and teach him. Tyrell meets challenges by working with trusted friends and adults to create and implement a plan for success. He is adored. He is kind-hearted and trustworthy. We love and are proud of him. We can't wait to see what his future holds because he is intelligent and will make life work for him. Tyrell, please come and accept your award.
That concludes our student recognition. Mr. Chairman, I turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Hooker, and thank you, students. Great job. Next on our agenda is we'll take a 3-minute break, and then we'll come back to the finance section.
Good evening. Tonight presented is the October 2020 financial report. We'll begin with the general fund. With 33% of the fiscal year complete, we have received 24% of the general fund budgeted revenues and have spent 35% of the general fund budgeted expenditures. If you keep in mind, we have several expenses which are due annually in July, including annual insurance premiums, annual instructional website licenses. So this is why we're slightly over the 33% estimate. Currently, expenditures exceed revenues by a little over $2 million. Our local property taxes are beginning to be remitted by the city. The total is due in December, and we will receive the bulk of this revenue in January. Next, we have our special revenue funds. Listed here are all of our state and federal awards. The total award for 2021 is a little over $1.4 million. This includes CARES funding of about $180,000. Drawdowns have been completed through October 31st, and all funds are expected to be received by December 17th. Next, we have our School Food Service Fund. Revenues collected total 25% of budgeted revenues, and expenditures represent 28% of budgeted expenditures. Currently, expenditures exceed revenues by about $13,000. We continue to see the number of students served increasing daily. In September, we served 21,713 meals. In October, we served 22,307 meals. And in November, we served 23,696 meals. The main reason for this continued increase is that we've moved to the summer seamless option in September, and that means all students eat free, and this is provided by the USDA grant. Next, we have our SPLOST fund. SPLOST collections in October for September collections totaled $139,000 from Walton County and $2017 from Newton County. This equates to about an 8% increase from the prior year for Walton and about an 11% increase for Newton County. The SPLOST fund has received 35% of the budgeted revenues and has spent 50% of budgeted expenditures. Are there any questions about the financial report?
Hearing none, do I have a motion to accept the monthly financial report as presented? Do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, please say aye. The monthly financial report is accepted.
Next, we have the freshman update. Our collections in October totaled $2,696.68. This was divided between the 4 schools for science and math. This brings the total collections to a little over $86,000.
Thank you, Mrs. Crawl. Next on our agenda, we have the superintendent's report. Dr. Hooker.
Thank you. I'd like to start off first by giving you the count for our school system, and I apologize. I failed to get the document to Ms. Rosie, so I'll just be very brief in doing that. For our primary schools, we have a total of 459 students enrolled, 405 are face-to-face, 54 virtual learning students. Our elementary students, we have a total enrollment of 353 students, 308 students are face-to-face, 45 are virtual learning students. For middle school, we have a total enrollment of 456 students, 385 students are face-to-face, 71 are virtual learning students. At the high school, we have a total enrollment of 582 students. Face-to-face students, we have 473 students. Virtual learning students, we have 109 students. That gives us a total of 1,850 students, total enrollment in the school. 1,571 students who are face-to-face and 279 students who are virtual learning students. And that is as of today. Any questions concerning our count, student count? No questions concerning our student count. I would just like to end my comments by saying happy holidays to everyone. As of December the 17th will be our last day. 18th. Thank you, Dr. Holmes, for correcting me as usual. All right. December the 18th is our last day of classes. Last 2 days will be early release. I want to remind parents of that early release on the last 2 days. And we want to continue to ask our families during the break, please, social distance, wash your hands, mask up. We're having an uptick of students who are out quarantined or are COVID related, so we ask that you please protect your students as we return back on January the 6th. And last of all, I would like to say to our governance team, thank you to this governance team. As a unit, we will continue to model for our community and grow into becoming a high-performing governance team. Your decisions are always made in what is in the best interest of our students. Thank you. That concludes my comments at this time.
Thank you, Dr. Hooker. Next on our agenda, we have under new business action items, list of surplus technology. You can open the document, see the list, and what are we proposing to do with the surplus technology?
We do what, right? Is that right? Yes. Right. Surplus are usually put out to bid for those in the community who would like to purchase it. And if you open your document, you will see the list of items that are on there for surplus. Okay.
All right, do I have a motion to accept this list of surplus inventory for November 2020? Do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, please say aye. Motion carries unanimously. Next on our agenda, we have executive session. Do I have a motion to exit regular session and enter executive session for the purposes of personnel discussion? Do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed, please say aye. Motion to enter executive session carries unanimously. Do I have a motion to exit executive session and re-enter regular session? Do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, please say aye. Motion carries unanimously. Now we get into our superintendent's recommendation for personnel. We'll take certified first. First one, certified recommendation tonight is a resignation, which is effective for 2021-22 school year for Audrey Thomas, Social Circle High School teacher and coach. I have a motion to accept this recommendation from our superintendent. I have a second.
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed, please say aye. Motion carries unanimously. Then we have a classified recommendation from our superintendent. It's for David Woodruff, transportation and bus mechanic. I have a motion to accept this recommendation from our superintendent. I have a second.
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed, please say aye. This motion, this recommendation is carried. Next, we have a motion. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed, please say